Woo! G'day Salty fam, welcome to episode 5 of our fish and coral collecting expedition. This is what we're up to today. Spots and the little shark. How gorgeous is the Powder Black, Salty fam? It's an Emery's Scalopsis. Moorish idols. We got a raccoon butterfly and a ruga butterfly. Little guy's a bleeding heart. We'll go down and film what we can see, and then it might be hard to pick up any of the stuff because it might stay just out of camera range. But once we get it, we'll bring you on the boat and we'll film it in the jars and stuff and have a good look at what we get. Yoo-hoo! Now this ground is supposed to be Lanardi wrasse ground. Gold nugget wrasse and Lanardi wrasse ground. We haven't had much luck in the last couple of days looking for them. We're at spot number 2, Salty fam. Spot number 1, we got a couple of blue spots and the little shark. See from the video how bad Viz was and stuff. It was pretty hectic down there. What we went down there for was just too hard to catch. They were super fast. It just wasn't our day. But here, hopefully I can get in and find me some acro. Fingers crossed. We'll see you in the drink. Here we go again. And the chance of finding acro is probably looking pretty slim to none. It's so sad. I think that's a Chinaman cod there. If it's not a Chinaman, it's definitely a type of cod. Heaps of little fish around here. Little yellowtail fusiliers. Looking under here for little sharks and stuff. That's where they all are. Underneath all those little ledges, you find the small baby sharks, especially on the bottom. Not so much higher up here on the bommy, but down in the lower sections, that's where they like to hang out. A lot of life on here. Just sadly, not a lot of coral life. There is still some. It's coming back. It's promising. We just need to hope for a couple of cyclones to come through during summer to bring that cooler water in and make sure that it just stays happy and healthy for the next few years. They're quite a pretty fish. I asked Simon what kind of fish they are and he told me they were bait. But I'm pretty sure they're a fusilier. They're not the yellowtail damsels that we've got in the Fowler tank at home, that's for sure. Another big black sea cucumber down there. Cool little sea star here. I didn't grab him because the last few that I've grabbed are coral eating ones. And I thought, oh, that's probably going to be one too, so I didn't. I can't tell if these are the raccoon or the aruga butterflies. Maybe even the bleeding hearts, but they're definitely a pair of butterflies there. Heaps of fish. I'm just scouting around trying to figure out where everything is and figure out a plan of attack to try and get them. Because no joke, it's super hard. The fish, they swim away. You're like, hey, I want to catch you, and then they don't stay there. You can chuck a net around and then try and spook them into that net with your little hand net. That's the best bet, but it's so much easier said than done. A lot of yous want to see us putting the nets out and chasing the fish into the nets and then using our nets to scoop them and put them into our buckets and stuff. But like, if we lose any fish because we're trying to film instead of catch them, it's bloody annoying and I get in trouble. So I'm not allowed to do it. I need to have a third person or someone catching the fish and I can just sit back and film it. And the collector does have his collecting secrets that he doesn't want to get let out. But in episode 1, if you do want to see it, there's a little bit of what we get up to in episode 1. Not much, but a little bit. A little sneak peek teaser. Got a bit of yellow coming back in the leathers. See how big that thing is. It's massive. And it's quite yellow. Well, it's white, but you can tell it was yellow. Another one of these little butterflies. Have a heaps better look at them on the boat. Whew, they're so fast. Can you imagine, trying to set up a net and then try and spook them into it? You've got to allow for the tide and the way it's doing. You put your net there, Then you try and come into like a bit of a channel and just spook them all towards the net you've laid out, and then grab them with your little hand net and then pull them out and put them in your bucket. There's an art to it. And I definitely don't make it look easy or graceful. When you see Simon doing it, it's magical, eh? He'll put it there and he'll swim there and he'll wave his hand there, and the fish just swim right where he wants them to 90% of the time. It's amazing. Oh, this poor Lobo. Hopefully it comes good. These guys look so big, but apparently under the water, it kind of magnifies it by like 30-40%. But this guy's still like the size of your face, a bit bigger. But man, like looking at him, he's like, seems bigger than a basketball. It's nuts. You can imagine how thriving this place used to be. There was acros and plating monties and just everything everywhere. You'd even get Wilson eyes tucked in. Sadly, not at the moment. Hopefully in a few years to come, it's back into the pristinity it was. This little guy's an Oriental Sweet Lips. Awesome colours on him. A little bit, they look big, but he's probably good size for an aquarium, to be honest. So much fun just exploring around. Little drop-offs, little ledges. The amount of fish life is insane. That was probably once a bright green acro there. That guy. And there's some nice Dendronenthia and some other bits of blue stuff. Cute little gonny there. I'd say we got about under 2 minutes of scouting around left, and then we'll go back onto the boat and see what we've collected. Still nice to just see fish swimming around. I could spend just hours and hours just sitting there watching them, but then you end up getting cold unless you're moving around. That's the downfall. I find myself just grabbing hold on a ledge and just watching the life. But then after maybe 15-20 minutes, I haven't moved around and I start getting bloody cold, so I got to swim around and get warm. But it's just amazing. Oh, to be a fish. No worries at all, eh? What am I eating next? And I guess maybe even what's going to eat me next. So it might not be such a good life after all. Another nice little gonny. Retreating a bit. Do this just to see what the skeleton's like underneath. If it was a full joined one, I would have grabbed him, but he's not, so I'll leave him too. Leave him to help repopulate. Gorgeous pair of Moorish idols here, and I can tell you these guys took some bloody catching. It was a team effort in the end. I couldn't do it solo. Too hard. They are such clever fish. They're just watching you and they know what you're up to, I swear. They just keep an eye on you and just stay that little bit away when you try and approach them. They're like, nah. Very clever little fish indeed. Here we got a crown of thorns sea star. These guys eat bloody coral. But I said to the collector, should we kill them? Should we take them away? And he was like, mate, these guys will starve. There's not enough coral to sustain their life. So they'll starve and become fish food. So no more eating coral for you guys. Here we got Eric, the bannerfish. He's pretty graceful, just doing his thing. Until he sees me. How you going, mate? Wow, you're inquisitive. Can you see that? One of these guys has a chunk missing out of their head. And it's grown back yellow like sponge. It's so weird. I'm sure it's one of these two. It might not be. It might be another one. But it was the coolest thing to see. I'll just keep following all of the coral margins that I see around and try and get the one that is missing this thing, and hopefully we get to see it together. I was telling the collector about it. It's like, it looks squishy. I've never seen anything like it. You know, usually when a fish gets a big bite out of it, it goes scar tissue and stuff. This went yellow, like sponge had grown there or something. It's crazy. Keep an eye on the top of their heads and see if you can see some weird yellow that doesn't look like it's supposed to be there. It'd be nice if they just stayed still for me, but they don't. That's the first nudibranch that I've seen this whole trip. Crazy. Awesome colours. They got a toxin though. And just to top it off, some nice bleach acro that we had come to collect. That's all I wanted was some purple acro.
We got the first fish to make it on the boat, Salty Fam. Excuse the compressor. We got a gorgeous big male scribble, a little male scribble, some 6-barred angels, Moorish idols. I'll get some water in the bucket and we'll have a look at them.
Fish aren't meant to be in a box, kid. It does things to you.
All right, mate, chill out. One more idol. How gorgeous is the Powder Black, Salty Fan? Woo, that is a stunning fish. Holy moly. Would you have a go at the yellow and black? One Powder Black. And this gorgeous wrasse. How's the colours?
Moorish idols, female scribbled angel, and a powder brown. What a stunner. And a dusky wrasse. You saw him in the jar. How nice is the greens on him? And I caught an awesome tiny little goby. I don't know if you'll be able to see him, but he's going to come home for the inside tank. He's small enough. Our little tiger blending in quarantine. Hi, what a little dude. You'll have to come up with a little name for him. Comment some names down below. I'll call every Blenny Lenny, so let's come up with something better than that. These guys are just hanging out in their little basket on their boat ride back to be jarred up and sent back down to Perth to be sold.
Simon's back in with the haul. I'll dunk his in with the little underwater and have a look. I can see some rabbit fish and stuff.
How's that for a bucket of fish? Probably a good couple of $100 worth of fish there. Maybe even more, maybe $1,000 worth of fish in that bucket. It's nuts. And about the same in this bucket. Definitely not $1,000 worth though. Close to 500.
Check it out, Salty Fam. We got a raccoon butterfly and a ruga butterfly. A ruga. How gorgeous are they? Very, very pretty fish. Alright, we'll see what's next. Gorgeous double bar rabbit. How's that with the sun in the background? I wonder if it's better with the sun that way.
The rope pulled some of the gear in.
This little guy is a monocle brim. Hey, young dude. Not a bad looking fella either. This is an Emery's Scalopsis. How's the colours on this guy? Far out. If you put one of these in an aquarium, you got to make sure you have good lids. But what a specimen. Oh yeah. Wowzers. This little guy's a bleeding heart butterfly. I nearly called him a Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Very nice. I once ruptured myself doing that.
Thanks, Mr. Murphy.
My friends call me Bleeding Gums.
Ew, how'd you get a name like that?
Well, let me put it this way. You ever been to the dentist?
Yeah?
Not me. I suppose I should go to one, but I got enough pain in my life as it is.
But how's that? Gorgeous fish. Stunner. How good was that one, Salty Fam? That one was an absolute ripper. Episode 5, I'm sure of it, done and dusted. Nice little sunset happening soon. Awesome. If you enjoyed this one, please be sure to smash that like button. Costs you nothing, does wonders for the channel, helps with the algorithm and all that jargon. And if you're not already subscribed and you made it this far, make sure you bloody subscribe. But until next time, stay salty. You.